Hey everybody, Scoutcrafter here again. It's Monday, beautiful day, absolutely gorgeous out. Today, since I told you we hit 20,000, I want to bring back an old tradition of storytelling that I miss because all my older family members are long gone, and I used to miss sitting around the table listening to them spin a yarn or so. And so I thought I would carry on the tradition and throw a few stories your way. So today we're going to talk about when I met Arnold Schwarzenegger. So sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, our story starts when I was a young man. I just finished high school and I was tired of being invisible to women. So I joined the gym, started working out. Eventually, I got a job at the gym. And after a few years of training hard, I got pretty big. And I said, if I wanted to learn anything, I had to go to where the mecca of bodybuilding was. So that meant a trip to California. I took $3,000 out of the bank. I got a nice little apartment a couple blocks off the beach, and it was real close to a gym called World Gym. Now, World Gym was owned by a gentleman by the name of Joe Gold. And you might know that name from Gold's Gym because he founded it in 1965 and then sold it along with his name. So he had to, when he came back and wanted to get back in the gym business, he couldn't use the Gold's Gym in the open world. But Gold's Gym had a lot of different members. They were more up-and-coming members, where World Gym had more established bodybuilders and the old-timers, and I kind of liked that, so I joined that gym. Now, one interesting thing about World Gym is part of it was actually outside. We had the same basic rules as the gym I used to work at, but the only difference was the gym I used to work at, you had to have an additional pair of shoes to train in. You couldn't wear the same shoes that you were walking around outside with for obvious reasons, and the pair of shoes that I used to train in were a pair of red, Scoutcrafter red, Pro Ked sneakers, and they were just they were my trademark, so to speak. So when I went to World Gym, I started training with a former Mr. Universe called Dave Johns, real nice guy. And the reason I was training with Dave is because he learned from Bill Pearl, who was my all-time favorite. Dave introduced me to Richard Jackal, and he was an actor. You might know him. You might remember him from he starred as the sergeant in The Dirty Dozen. And Richard's been training for years. He's a former from New York City, too, so we got along great. And before long, I started getting along with all the guys at World Gym, and it was like a big family back then, believe it or not. Now, things were a lot different almost 30 years ago, but, one thing that I found funny was you had all these professional bodybuilders, Olympia winners and Universe winners and Mr. Americas, all these guys walking around, and really it didn't cause a stir because everybody was used to them. They were just another guy working out back then. You had Lou Ferrigno would walk by and nobody would bat an eye. But as soon as Arnold walked into the gym, everything went hush. The guy was loaded with charisma. You can't imagine. And this was before he became a megastar. He won 7 Mr. Olympias, which meant a lot in the gym industry. And he did the movie Pumping Iron, you might remember. And one of his big blockbuster movies that he just finished was Conan the Barbarian. And but after that, he was just every time he walked in, everybody just stopped what they were doing and would look at him. Well, one day I was walking past Arnold, and his thick accent, he said, "Hey, are you from New York?" And I thought to myself, "Oh my God, he knows who I am. He recognized me." I was like, "How did you know I was from New York?" And he said, with sneakers like that, you have to be. And him and all the other guys got a big kick out of that. They were all laughing at the fact that my red sneakers that I took for granted at that time. Well, needless to say, I was a little bit embarrassed, but they said that if Arnold jokes with you, meant he liked you. So after that, it was kind of different between that. He was really cool towards me, and everybody, like I said, was a big family over there, and we all got along great. But I said, it's time for me to get home, and I didn't tell anybody I was going back to New York, so I set the alarm that day for 4:30 in the morning. I got up early, and I went to the back of World Gym, and you remember the back of World Gym, I said was outside more or less, and there was some wires. Remember them wires between the telephone pole? Well, I took my red Scoutcrafter red Pro Keds and I threw them up over the wire. And I always thought to myself, the next day when Arnold went out there to train and went to look at the ocean, he would be staring at my sneakers and thinking, what happened in New York? And I always got a kick out of that. To this day, I often wonder how long those sneakers were up there that they had to look at it. Okay, just got back from Elephant's Trunk Flea Market. It's been open now for, this is the third week, and they've been doing a bang up business. Everybody's so tired of being shut in. And it was a beautiful day. I shot some footage for you. Check it out. I love it over there.
Thank you. You're welcome. I mean, it could, but you probably just have to. Marbles stay good. Oh, yeah. Right in there.
I know my buddy John Fix would have picked up this perfect handle wrench. Trying to find somebody here who needs a shoes. This is a rare Woodsman's Pal, and I have one of these, a newer one, but I've never seen one with the stacked leather handle, and that handle was so comfortable because it was thinned out. It was really nice, and it's an early one. They used to issue these out to the guys in the service and whatnot, and he wanted about $40 for this, but it was a nice one, but I never seen one with the stacked leather handle like this.
Openers, no. No, I got other Coke stuff here if you look around.
No, but not other openers.
No, I don't find many openers on. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
You don't have to, I'm just...
Yeah, I got one more just like that. If you want another one, I got two of them.
That's yours. And then yours goes for wagon.
50.
Yeah. I don't think so.
That's on all the treasures.
Guy wanted $125 for this edger, and my buddy Joe from Joe's shop just did one, and he did such a great job on it. Okay, that was a lot of fun. I have to tell you, that's Elephant's Trunk. It's in Connecticut. It's $3 to get in, and what a great time. I love that flea market, and we don't have too many around here. A lot of them were closed down for a long time, and I do miss them. And I picked up some great stuff, and I'll show you what I picked up on Wednesday. Next up, because we are still on a Monday Mosh, a friend of the show, Tom from New Jersey, when I was showing the Tether cars, I told him, I told everybody I had a red one upstairs packed away, and he said, I would have liked to see the red one. So I found them, and I brought down a couple I want to show you and get your opinion on. Okay, real quick, this is the circa 1970s Cox Tether car, and you can see here it has a few different features from different eras that they had. But if you look here, this inside the cockpit here, the glass or the dome plastic, you could see that there's a blow molded figure of a driver with the parachute over there, and he's holding on to the steering wheel. And you know, a lot of times these are missing, as it is on one of my other cars, but this was from, like I said, the 70s. Now let me compare that to this car here, which dates back to the late 50s. Now look at here, this is, again, they first started using plastics and stuff, but look at the difference here in this one, and you could see, again, like I said, this is the late 50s. Look at the cockpit on this one. I always found this pretty interesting. It has this one is removable, you can see, and look at the detail on the cockpit. It has it's quite detailed as far as the instrumentation, the steering wheel, the turns. It's got some plaid seating, like it was covered, and the cockpit cover just snaps right back on. And again, this is late 50s. You don't usually see too many of these around. It doesn't have the guard around the prop. So my question for the day is, which design, which style do you prefer? This would be number 1, the early model, or number 2, the later model. I'm curious to see what the audience comes up with, but this will be number 1 or number 2. So just in the comments, just put a number 1 or number 2 for which one do you prefer, which one do you like better, 1 or 2? Okay, so in closing, we had a heck of a mosh this Monday. I hope you enjoyed it. And on Wednesday, like I said, I'll show you exactly what I picked up, and we'll also do a restoration on one of the tools. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great day. Take care now. Bye-bye.